everybody, it's Bianca B and Anthony's Tacos, and we're here with
Grizzly Talk.
What's going on? Say something.
Out here in Anthony's Tacos, we're getting ready to try them out. We're going to do the first time taste test.
Wow, that's super special. What's it hit like? Well, hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode here of Grizzly Talk. At Mike on the mic here. We got our host, David
Alvarez.
And we got a super special guest today, Anthony's Tacos.
Hey.
What's going on, brother?
And Bianca, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you guys both so much for making it in. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people, especially here in the Valley, like, are going to know who you guys are, right? And do you guys want to give a little introduction on what you do, maybe if there is anybody out there that doesn't know about you
for
guys
sure.
here?
There's always people who don't know who you are. My name is Anthony of Anthony's Tacos. My lovely wife, Bianca.
I'm the mascot of Anthony's Tacos.
We sell quesadilla tacos in Fresno, California, specifically on Blackstone and Shaw in the Lifestyle Furniture parking lot. But we sell those when we slang tacos every day of the week. Not every day of the week, but you can follow the Instagram to find us there and see what days we're popping up.
Yeah, so you guys do, I saw a little bit about your story, but you guys started doing just tacos, right?
Yeah.
And then now you guys are doing like burritos, quesadillas too?
Burritos, quesadillas, ramen. We have special items like tamales.
Birria tamales?
Birria tamales. They're like loaded and
It's almost like a baked potato, but it's not a potato. It's a tamale, so it's like cut on the top, and then you stuff it.
Just stuff it with
Put cheese in there and stuff like
We
that.
raw.
Yeah.
And those special items are mac and cheese with Yummy J's from Fresno.
Oh, dope.
And birria mac and cheese people ask for all the time.
Yeah. I'd imagine because that birria ramen has been like popping off lately.
Oh yeah,
too.
that's a hot seller too. Like all year long, in the summer and the winter.
Yeah.
My first year selling those, I tried to take them away in the summer. I was thinking they wouldn't sell, and they were like, "Where'd they go? Like, we still want it."
You know what I mean? Your mom makes the.
I was like, "Oh, that's why it's a seasonal food." They're nothing seasonal when it's that good, you know. Like I'll eat that all year long. So it does. It sells all summer long.
Yeah, that's funny because like all the Mexicans, they always say like, it's not a hot summer day if your mom doesn't make the caldo.
Yeah, it's 103 and your mom just wakes up like, I think we'll make caldo today.
Make some pozole on 110 degree weather.
Right.
Man, but it hits different for sure.
Yeah. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, been doing good. Well, maybe I know you guys don't know me, so like a little bit of my background. So I'm actually an insurance agent. So I sell like auto insurance. Been doing that for the longest time, and so.
Get his number. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know your insurance.
No, everybody's pulling out of California, so it's like
even for home insurance, you guys are homeowners as well. Yeah, so that's been extremely like crazy as of lately too. It's just like wild with everyone pulling out of California. But yeah, me and David, we actually just got the idea to do a pod, or I had talked about it for like quite a while. Or I didn't even know I talked about it, but me and David actually used to live together.
Yeah, I used to live right next door right here. Yeah, and we would always talk about podcasts. I mean, he would. And then what happened was I saw a Ty Lopez Instagram post come up that message us if you want Ty Lopez on your podcast. Yeah. I sent it to him. I was like, hey, I think it's time.
Yeah.
He's like, should we start a podcast? And I was like, dude, I've been thinking about it. He's like, yeah, I remember you telling me. I was like, I told you that?
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, he's like sending me a bunch of stuff to get everything started. And then, I mean, here we are now.
You guys were number one on our list to get.
Let's go. Yeah. We talk about it too. Everybody wants to do that podcast. And like, if you can sit down and have real conversations and whatever clips come out of it is great, man. And like, you just get to experience a lot of other people's stories. And we talk about it too. And I've bought multiple equipment items. I'm just like, we're getting there, but we're in different phases with the business and stuff every time. But it's definitely something I look forward to do too. And she's a talker. She knows she's ready to start a podcast.
She's ready.
Oh, you guys will kill it with a podcast.
Right.
What's a little bit about your background? Like, I know you met Anthony, and you had already started your business, right?
Yeah, I had
And
started.
so I know you talked a little bit about being a personality.
So when I first heard about Anthony's Tacos, it was definitely from my friend Gio. We were at her birthday party, and it was a swim party. And one of our mutual friends, his name's Crash, and we're all like, hanging out for her birthday. And then he's like, oh, all right, I gotta go. I might be back. Like, I'll probably for sure be back, but I gotta go and get a burrito. And we're like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you gotta get a burrito? And he's like, yeah, like my boy Anthony's Tacos. And then Gio's face is like, oh yeah. And I'm like, what do you guys listen? I'm still confused. And he's like, yeah, my boy Anthony's Tacos, like he runs out of burritos within the first hour. So like I gotta be there early so I can go get a burrito. So he literally left our friend's birthday party just to go buy a burrito, and then he did come back. But like it's crazy. Like, so that's when he was in his front yard, and I'm like, who is leaving a birthday party for a burrito? Like, is it that good? And I look at my friend Drew, and she's like, dude, I don't eat meat, but when I do, like, I'm for sure eating Anthony's Tacos, and I'm gonna be sick because she doesn't eat red meat at all. But she was like, I will literally eat Anthony's Tacos. Like, that's how good they are. And so I was like, all right, let me see who this is. Ended up following him on Instagram. And then that's all I knew him. I just, knew him through Instagram. And I was advertising him without even trying the food and without even knowing him. But I was like, oh, like, you want to eat some good food? This guy sells in front of his house. Like, one of my favorite things that I always remember from Anthony's, like, his posts was every time he sold out, he would, like, get his, like, pan, like his empty pan, and like like ring and like kind of like ring a bell with his pan. He's like sold out, and like he'd sell for 3 hours, sell out within 3 hours, and every time, like every post after the 3 hours, you would see like sold out, and I'm like, that's so tight. Like selling from your front yard, it's like looked like a party every time people went there. Like people were taking their own drinks outside.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and so I was just like, I was promoting him like, bro, like he has really good birria tacos, and I was so on my fitness journey that I never like tried, like I never ate like just anything else other than like what I meal prepped and like exact macros. I remember one time I messaged him like, do you know the macros on your like tacos? He was like, nah, I'm sorry, I don't. I was like, all right, no, you're good, never mind. Like,
I just can't eat there.
Yeah, I was like, do you have any birria bowls? He was like, yeah, I could just do like the meat with cilantro. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll do that. And I was like, but I have to experience the tacos first, like, on like your your day off, your cheat day. But yeah, so that's how I kind of found out about him. And I met him out once. And then I was like, are you Anthony from Anthony's Tacos? He was dancing. And I was like, dude, he's tight. He's like in his work shirt and he's out dancing. He doesn't remember he was drunk that day. And I walked up to him and I was like, are you Anthony? Because you look like the cartoon guy, like, Yeah. He said, yeah. And then met him another time. And then I just started writing. We were friends on Instagram. And then we became friends on like his personal page. And then it was just like, I mean, he was so funny on Instagram, like hilarious. Like his stories would just go crazy, and I'm just like engaging, and a lot of people would engage with him on his stories because they'd be like wild, just funny stories. And so yeah, we just started engaging. We were really funny, and I kept telling him like, hey, let's hang out. Like nothing on like just as friends, not like on some another level. I was just like, dude, this guy's hecka funny, and I want like a guy friend that's like just cool and down to earth. And this fool just lived his life on his own. Like, it was like kids, Anthony's Tacos. That's all that was on his mind. And I was like, yo, me too. Like, I'm just like focused on work, but like, you seem like such a cool person to be friends with. And I wanted like a guy best friend. And so, yeah, I not begged him, but there was this one time I was like, yo, you want to hang out? I'm gonna go pick you up. I'm gonna go to the mall. And he's like, oh, I just came back from the mall. And I was like, I'm literally saying I'll go pick you up. Like, hang out with me. He's like, all right, tight, like, come pick me up. And ever since that day, like, never stopped hanging out, and we were best friends for 8 months, and then he told me he had feelings for me,
He fell first.
He fell first for sure, yeah.
I tripped and failed.
That's great.
Oh, that's cool.
And then how soon did she start helping you with everything? Like, you guys were friends for 8 months. You started...
She was definitely, like, wiggling her way in any way she could, wanted to help. Like, she just wanted to promote a little bit more than just sharing like everybody else was sharing, and word of mouth. And she was pitching mascot ideas and ring. I was like, you can be a ring. The first one,
no. The first one was, I was like, it would be so funny if I was like a birria taco mascot. And like, I was like, imagine, he was like, yeah. little did I know he's actually like researching it. And I'm like, no. And I would always bring it up. He was like, that would be funny. And I was like, dude, I would like walk around, say hi to the kids because you sell in your front yard, you know? Like, how fun would that be while people are waiting an hour for their food? Because he had a small girl at that time, you know? So people are waiting like an hour. And I was like, dude, I'll walk around. I'll be so funny. And I'm just pitching that. So after like, he was like, I haven't found like a good birria taco. Like there's taco mascot outfits, but there's not a birria taco outfit mascot. Like, you know, it's different.
Chinese manufacturers. I was ready to make it happen.
I was looking for that for you guys.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
He said he was looking for a mascot.
I saw the interview and I saw you guys mention that, so I was like, oh, I gotta get them this.
Right. If you find one, let me know.
Find anything.
So then when that kind of fell through, it was like, all right, like that idea fell through. And then I was like, all into my workout, you know, my fitness era at that time. And I was like, you want to know what else would be cool? And he was like, what? Because there would be a time where he would call out like, all right, we have like 80 tortillas left. So like, we like 80 tortillas and like, all right, we have 50 tortillas left, right? And so we would like sometimes, I don't even think I was working for the business at this time. But I was like, you know how you guys do that sometimes? Like you call out 80 tacos and like 50 tacos and like you guys have to count like how many people there are because we would have to turn down people sometimes. I was like, what if I was like a ring girl? Like, you know, like ring girls like round 2, right? And I'm like, what if I like got a sign that said 80 tacos left and I would just like walk around in like a cute little Anthony's Tacos like ring girl outfit. He's like, bro, you're crazy. There he is designing an outfit. So I would just pitch like hella like dummy ideas and then
did any of them ever go through?
Well, no, because the ring girl one was kind of like a funny pitch, but it was I was like, there's kids there though, you know? Like, you can't have some like cute ass little like, and then, sorry, I said ass, can I cuss on this?
Yeah, that's
okay,
fine.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Try not to cuss, but I mean, ass, okay. So then, but yeah, we couldn't find the mascot. The ring girl was kind of just like more funny and fun and games, and then an art hop came, and we were hanging out one time, and I don't know if you want to take it over.
Yeah, just a lot of the things online were, you know, interviews and kind of smart questions or like, you know, and they'll win something.
Word on the street.
Odd socks type of deals. And one of her favorite comedians, like
Hannah
Berner, was, we watched this thing and I'm like, all right, well, how can I make this our own, you know? And we just turned it into taco interviews and first time reactions because people were always saying, like, I can't wait to get down there. Like, I want to try it. This is my first time. And I was like, man, what a moment to catch on camera. And just, she's really funny and witty and off the top where I know that I could edit and chop it up. And it's going to work perfectly, you know? So I pitched it to her. I was like, hey, this art hop coming up. I think we're going to have you do interviews. So, you know, I'll give you 2 tacos, you know, either get a couple or a single person and let them eat the tacos and we'll get some reactions. And I threw her to the wolves. She's ready to go off and tell her that I threw her to the wolves, and I didn't give her any instructions and all these things. But like, if you can tell her personality, you know that was gonna work off the rip. Yeah, and like it was gonna be great no matter what. I didn't want it to be scripted. I didn't want it to be, you know, anything weird. So just go out there, and if you fail or if, you know, trial and error, you'll figure it out. You know, so. It worked out perfectly.
I'm actually glad that he didn't give me anything because
you're an overthinker and you would have overthought
it. Yeah, like to an extent, I probably would have overthought it. But like, I think like so we were in our kitchen now, but it was in my kitchen at first, and we were just sitting there, and he was like, "Hey, what do you think about like doing interviews for Anthony's Tacos?" And I was like, "Bet, I'm down. What do you need? Like, am I gonna have an outfit? Am I gonna do this? What am I?" And I'm like excited. And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, when?" He's like, "For Art Hop." And I was like, "All right, cool. When's Art Hop?" I had never been to Art Hop, so like he was the first person that showed me what Art Hop was.
What year was that?
Probably 2022.
2022.
Yeah. 2022, and
COVID mask off.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right, bet. And I was like, so when's Art Hop? And he was like, this Thursday, and I think it was like a Tuesday, and I was like,
yeah,
tight, got you, yes, let's go. And in my head, I'm like, all right, just send me what you need me to do, like send me like what you want me to talk about. What do you? And he was like, yeah, all right, we're just gonna do interviews. And I was like, all right, cool, bet. Like I'm excited, right? Next day, and I'm like, hey, don't forget to send me what you want me to do. And he was like, yeah. Next day, and I'm like, hey, don't forget to send me what you need to do, like. Then it's Art Hop, and I'm like, so like, what do you? He was like, just do interviews, like, you know. And I was like, okay, got it. Bet you, like, I got it. And he was like, just ask, like, like, have people try the tacos, whatever. And he just gave me nothing, right? Then I was like, who's gonna record me? He's like, oh, my brother Kenneth. Me and Kenneth are kind of like one and the same people. We're both like the baby of the family. Like, we're just funny. And so we kind of like made fun of each other at first. The first time we went, I was like, you're gonna be my cameraman. And he was like, oh yeah, something, something. And then he's making fun of me, and I was like, no, it's something, something. I don't even remember what we were talking about. He's cooking tacos at Art Hop. Like, we're about to do this interviews, and he goes, hey, yeah, y'all are both Aries. Like, you get along, like, or something like that. And I was like, you're an Aries? And he goes, you're an Aries? And I was like, dude, my birthday's March 24th. And he's like, my birthday's March 23rd, or like something. Yeah. And after that, me and Kenneth were like, this. But met my camera person that same day. And yeah, and it's just kind of cool because like I did get to make the interview my own. And that was really fun. And he allowed my creative mind to kind of just go for it. And I didn't really know. I don't know. I don't know how. I just had, well, I guess I'm pretty confident, but I don't know. I was just like, all right, I'm just going to go ask that person. And it helped that Kenneth was like also very, what's it, like someone that's like encouraging. He's like, oh, you got this. Like, go ask that. Like, that person looks fun. And I was like, yeah, that look, yeah. I was like, oh, he was my hype man for sure. Like, he definitely was. And we would do one interview, and then Kenneth was like, yo, that was good. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do another one. And then, so then, like, we do a really good one, and we'd, like, go up to Anthony. And Anthony at Art Hop, the line is crazy long. He only does tacos at Art Hop, but it's crazy long. So after every interview, we'd come back, and Anthony's, like, sweating, bandana, and he's flipping tacos. We're like, oh, my gosh, guess what? Like, we just did a really funny one. You're going to love it. He's like, all right, tight. And we're like, okay, like being smart, he was like, that's tight. And then he keeps cooking tacos. Yeah, he's like hot and sweaty, and we're like, all right, let's go do another one. And me and Kenneth were like little kids just running around our hop, like taking tacos to people.
That's crazy. Do you have like a natural curiosity, you think, that like kind of sparks that, or what do you think it is where you're just like let it rip like off the top?
My dad, I'm the exact same person as my dad, and my dad grew up in the entertainment business. He had his own band for 20 something years. And then he's also like a DJ. Well, he's a DJ. It started off DJing, and then he had his own Tejano band. Shout out to Revene de Nuevo on that. But he is very well known all around Parlier, all the small towns, and then in Fresno as well, of course. But like Selma, Reedley, and everybody kind of just I grew up with thinking my dad knows every single person in these cities. So I would watch him entertain on stage all the time. I'd go up on the stage dancing Tejano music, cumbias and all that. And that's just what I grew up with. And I have the exact same personality as my dad, like to the T, like little tics that we have. Like it's the exact same. So he always taught me to like shake someone's hand sternly, and like look at someone in the eye when you're talking to them, and like just, talk louder. Like you don't need to like, like use your voice and feel confident. And so I was just like, all right, cool. And I was like, my dad doesn't have any sons. So me and my two other sisters, there's 3 girls. He raised us as sons type thing, like, so we always just, I wanted to be like my dad growing up. So I think that's where I know that's where I get it from.
There
for
you
sure.
Get it from. Yeah. So you like to like dance Spanish music? You like Spanish music and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. I ended up learning all of that, but I wasn't much of a dancer like growing up. I know like
really
my grandma or my mom would like grab me at the parties and like dance, and you just like kid like nah, like you're 12, 13, coming of age and stuff, so you would never want to dance. But once I kind of got out of high school and I started really getting into music, I mean, I took off and I was just a really good dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your home life like growing up? Like, was it a lot of like Spanish background or like?
Yeah, Spanish, Ramon Ayala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's coming to the fair,
cumbias,
isn't he?
I want to say no, probably. He's been here so much
every year.
I think he retired. I think he did his last, or I don't know. I thought he did his last tour, right?
Yeah.
I thought I heard him.
He's getting there
for sure. He's
definitely there. I see him a lot.
I've seen him countless times though.
Yeah. Would you guys have like the typical like Mexican backyard parties with the,
for sure.
DJ and I don't know if they would get shut down or whatever.
Yeah, it was me and my 3 brothers and just my mom. She would have a partner here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad, I'm half black. My dad wasn't there, and my mom my whole Mexican side of my family, my mom has the biggest like backyard in the family, so
Mhm.
weddings were back there. Her friends' weddings were back there.
Yeah.
Birthday parties, everybody would come to her backyard in Southeast Fresno and just and partied up because nobody would call the cops on us either. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they could go on as long as they want, banda and all that stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
DJ, and that was kind of like my life growing up.
Mhm.
And even I would even host my own. I held my own middle school party there
Parties
too. You know
there.
what I mean? Like, the party,
You had all the kickbacks,
yeah, for
all the
sure,
house
for
parties.
sure. My brothers had more kickbox and more crazy stuff. I just had the one like promotion party.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of how we grew up in the house.
Did-
Mexican home.
Did you like Mexican music growing up?
No, not as I didn't appreciate it as much.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because of like where I grew up or whatever, but that was always my family. And my family actually owned a restaurant. Like my whole life,
wow.
basically, they owned a restaurant for over 30 years. It was in Clovis, right there on Shaman and Wawa. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It was called El Quetzal, but really good Mexican food. We sold it in 2016, and then so it's called Casa Maria now.
Well, okay.
But yeah, we used to have all the Mexican parties there because it was in the shopping. It wouldn't get shut down. We had a dance floor, and and then it was funny. All the parents would be like in the main thing, and we had a banquet hall like right next to it. So all the badass kids would be back there, causing trouble and
I definitely I didn't appreciate it as much, but as I grew older and things that just remind me of maybe my grandma, my mother, just things like that, like Ramona Ella, I already know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And older cumbias and stuff like that. They just remind me of my family, so like I definitely appreciate them now. And we went to Banda Machos at the fairgrounds, me and my mom and her husband, and I was the one pushing for us to get the tickets and like let's go. I had never had that experience with my mom to like go to a little concert, and it was fun.
Yeah.
They were playing the bangers. So, but I definitely appreciate it now. And growing up, I grew up around it all the time, and my grandmother was the business owner of the family, and she decorated quinceañeras for my whole life and stuff, and so I was definitely around bands all the time and around the culture.
Mm-hmm.
But I at least I get to appreciate it now.
Do you guys go to more bailes now that you guys are older? No bailes.
No.
Other than going to see my dad perform. My dad just retired this year. I don't know if he will bring it back. He's retired once before and then brought it back. But yeah, he just retired again with the business. But yeah, no, I mean, we're definitely, well, now I listen to a lot more Bay Area music now that I know. He introduced me kind of to that, and like I fell in love with it. But I think we go more to like LARUSSELL concerts, and we always post like those are the concerts we do go to. So we're always traveling back and forth to those type of concerts. But yeah, if it's a Mexican dance, I only listen to cumbias or like Tejano music because that's what I grew up on. So like any corridos or like any like that's not my type of Mexican music. Not no disrespect or anything because obviously I'm Mexican, but like it's just not what I grew up listening to. So definitely like in my Selena era, like I'm gonna be doing the washing machine wherever I go and like just doing cumbias because that's what my dad sang. My family's from Texas, so yeah, that's that. I think I don't know. We don't ever go.
No, but if we're at a party or there's a Mexican song,
we're for sure gonna be
We're
dancing.
dancing into it.
Yeah, because I know for me, because I went to Fresno High.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Fresno High, Wawona, like all that, like this side.
Yeah.
Or that side, because we're way far from
Right.
But, like growing up, same thing. I wouldn't listen to Mexican music like in school and stuff. But like at the end of my high school year, like that's when I just started listening to a bunch of Mexican stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I know after high school, that's when I started going to all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like in Fresno, like Mexican music wasn't like really appreciated,
Mm-hmm.
but like maybe like 2016, 2017, that's when it started popping out for me.
Yeah.
For sure. The culture's kind of hot right now, like the Mexican culture. I feel like it kind of blew up, and then like I feel like was like the red like tacos kind of like started blowing up.
Maybe. Oh, for sure, they took off. I had never had one before I started selling them. I had never had one. I had them downtown. Prima Mayor was doing an event, and Tacos Jacinto was there. Prima Mayor had the longest line, and I was like, I'm not gonna wait there. And then I just went to Jacinto, and I tried it. And the next day, I was like, man, those are good. Like my family doesn't make those tacos, or I've never heard of those tacos.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna try to make them. Like I'm gonna try to make it, and I would host parties, Super Bowl party, football, boxing. We watched a lot of Canelo Alvarez fights and Mayweather fights during the time while they were still fighting. And I would just cook, or I'll hit my homie up to have EBT and like, yo, let me get, let me get some EBT. I'll buy this. Some of them I had people pitching $5, but it was, I was buying 10, 15, 20 pounds of meat and just cook tacos.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out. And they were all telling me that it was good. I never thought that I would, be selling it at all, but it just led there at some point, like somebody snapped a photo of me while I was doing a free, kickball tournament event, and I was just cooking tacos. And he snapped a picture of me, and I asked the buddy to make a logo of me, and from there it took off. Like, I really got to see like the graphic designer and the like branding and the marketing in me, where like it sparked in me because I cared. I liked that stuff. There was brands that I liked, but I never thought I'd be doing my own stuff and trying to build brand identity and build a culture with my own brand. And you get into marketing, e-commerce is something that I got to work on because you turn into this whole, it's all one package, it's all you, unless you build, you really hire a team who's like your video person and, your online sales is going to help you.
No, yeah. I know
that website.
I know your guys' tacos are really good because they're like, everyone talks about them.
Yeah.
But how big was marketing, like not marketing, your branding, like to blow you up?
Yeah, branding was huge. What I did for branding was sticker culture was really huge for the last couple of years. It might have died down now, but people were slapping them on buildings, on walls, on places they shouldn't have been. But then they moved over to hydro flasks, and everybody was drinking out of the hydro flask. So, I handed out thousands of stickers. I printed so many stickers, and T-shirts. I gave away a lot of free T-shirts with our logo on it. I was really just pushing that characterized logo of myself, and if they hadn't heard about us, they seen it, somewhere at some point. People just loved reposting the food and the sticker that they got for free. A lot of places charge for that. Obviously, it costs money, but in those aspects, I would always give every pop-up. I would give away 3 free plates of food, and the free stickers and the free merch, whatever we could do.
Every single person gets a free sticker.
Every single person.
Who gave you that idea?
Yeah.
Who gave you that idea of just giving free stickers, free T-shirts?
I listen to a lot of business podcasts and marketing podcasts. Somebody I really listen to a lot is Gary Vee, and there's a lot of just giving before you start asking.
The jab, right hook.
Yeah, a lot of giving before you start asking of your people. And I didn't have a community, and I didn't have a fan base, or I didn't have loyal customers yet. It was just a lot of friends for the first couple months, but word of mouth was our biggest marketing
That's how
campaign.
I found out.
It was our biggest marketing campaign. People who just love to say, hey, you need to go try those, because there's videos I could make them drool and stuff, and there's pictures that I could post, but even that takes people a few times. You're like, okay, you got to hit them over the head with it before they'll come out. Come out. But when somebody close to them tells them like, yo, get over there, like next time it's open, so that's definitely been our biggest campaign is word of mouth. People just willing to open their mouth and say like I stand behind that brand, and we did it for ourselves. We created a lot of consistency, just serving it every time, no mistakes, try not to make any mistakes, and make sure, I'm the one seasoning and I'm the one cooking everything, so I make sure like it's to the T, and it's consistent every time. So
are you your own graphic designer?
No, I definitely have a great team, and they really know how to see a vision and execute it and stuff. I've took things and I've flipped them. The t-shirt that I'm wearing I made myself, but the original logo was, I reached out for that. I reached out for, you find ads online and just, I keep reinvesting. I got a retro, little character taco and a retro character of myself, and kind of went that way. The gifts are new. That was just the other day. Yeah. You just always take time, and like, I seen the opportunity and I was like, well, let me just go ahead and push it, and something that they could use on Instagram. I always wondered where people would get those from and like how to make it happen.
I do have to hype him up real quick though, like on his the logos that he did have, like that he got made, right? Whether it was Cuddy or Manny, what he also does. So you asked if he does his own graphic design. he's definitely a designer. So like all the merch that you have seen, he has done the placement and like put everything where it needs to go. So but like again, like this t-shirt, you'll see like the back too. He definitely created all of that stuff. He's done like hats before, and he's done just I mean all kinds of t-shirts, like everything that he does do, like definitely
towels and socks.
Towels, socks, like, and he just, it'll be like, I don't know, 10 p.m. at night. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And I'll go sit next to him. He's like, oh, look, I just did this t-shirt and then this hat and then that. And I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Like, how did you come up with that? So, like, he does have his, like, original logos and stuff like that, but, like, he does do his own graphic designing on, like, merch and stuff. So, all his merch he does himself. And even, like, it's been a benefit for me, too, because for my business, I needed a logo for my Pure Scalp business. And I was like, yeah, I just feel like it was like a few years ago. I was like, I just feel like I haven't like jumped the gun yet because I don't have a logo and I don't know what I want. I kind of know that I want like this and like to have this type of like a hairline and then it say Pure Scalp, like, And he was like, oh, okay. And like we were just best friends at this point. And then, I don't know, a few days later, he's like, hey, what do you think of this? And I'm like, wait, what? I don't even think it was a few days later. It was like a few weeks later. So I completely forgot about it, not even thinking he was paying attention. And then he came up with a logo. So like he created my logo for my business. So definitely very talented at that. I just had to give you your flowers for that.
I see. I'll be at a grocery store, and I'll see a like bright orange sweater like from far away.
Yeah.
And then they get close, and Anthony's Tacos. Same thing with the hats. Like I'll see them from far away, and then boom.
That was the vision. That's funny that you say that. I'm glad that it worked, and that was my goal. Was like, I want to brand this color. Like, if it's not going to be Texas Longhorns, it's going to be Anthony's Tacos. Not a lot of people wear Texas Longhorns in Fresno anyways, but I was like, this is going to be my brand color, and I want it to, to go. And I definitely need to do a lot more of those sweaters, bring them back and put new designs on them. But that's funny that you say that. Like, makes me happy. Makes me proud for sure.
It's been more than one time. It's
for sure.
Definitely a few times.
I've seen the hats. The hats are dope too. Though that Texas Longhorn color, it's a khaki with the brown.
Oh, the two-tone, yeah.
Yeah, those are dope. But the merch is really it's really dope. Like right now, I didn't even realize that was Anthony's Tacos, and then I see the logo. I'm like, yo, that shirt's dope though. But how do you think like the merch changed? Like, does that add like is that a big part of the business, like to add revenue, or is it just more like marketing for you to someone's, wearing your, promoting you basically anytime they wear it?
I've took a lot of losses on merch. Half of it not, maybe launching the way I thought it was going to take off, or half of it just being, I will turn it into a giveaway and just, here you go, like, let's get rid of it, let's get it off. The end of sweater season was coming up, so I kind of just like started, pushing them all out. But it's always going to be, it's still going to yield a big return. As he said, he sees it in the grocery stores and he sees it all the time, So we're constantly in people's faces, if not on their phone, people walking around with the merch. It's a win for us. I would definitely love for people to support us and purchase it when they can. I know, people are spending their money everywhere in different ways. Everybody's asking for them to support, but I definitely, different ways that I'm looking at, pushing the merch and different things now. We've done tips. We offered tips for towels. I had made 300 towels with our logos on them, and people would I was like, hey, leave a tip and you can have a towel. And it's hot outside. You can wipe your rag, or for golfing, you can clean your balls with it and everything. And that went well. Our socks went well. And I just been learning trial and error every time with the merch too, and upgrading the quality of the products and stuff. And sometimes that's not the goal. I've definitely did a 200 shirt run of just like Gildan t-shirts and gave them away for $10 or less. Like, and people, there's 200 shirts out there who people were just like, oh yeah, like I didn't make any money on it, but they chose the color. It was either gray, white, or Texas orange, and they flew really fast. So there's different targeting ads that I'm working on. And I haven't told Bianca, but like I was telling my buddy Johnny the other day, I was like, man, there's this thing that I want to make work for me too, and it's they're called Pizza My Heart. And if you've ever seen that pizza company, you can buy a slice of pizza, pizza combo, and you'll get a free T-shirt. And I seen this video, was like, how are they making any money on this at all or anything? And they're not really making money on it, but I see those shirts everywhere, like a Pizza My Heart shirt, and it's just a basic logo on the front of a white T-shirt, and just I was gonna slow down on the stickers and like move over to like, man, if I can give them a whole merch item, like a whole T-shirt, it won't be crazy expensive or like highest quality, but like that's a T-shirt. People wear it to sleep. People wear it to the gym.
People love that.
People love it. You know what I mean? That type of things. I'm gonna reinnovate what we're doing because we've been doing the stickers, and people love the stickers and they still want the stickers. But if those have to move to being $1, and you grab it because it's your first time and you grab one or two, then that's what we'll move to. But I've gave over or probably given close to 10,000 stickers away. Like if I go back and look up my orders, I order them by the thousands, 2,000 at a time. I've ordered the last one I've ordered was 5,000, so I still have some. But different things like that, like just trying to re-innovate and re-change things. Even with the menu to keep it fresh, we pull out those menu items because they're not always available, like the tamales, the mac and cheese, and people ask for nachos and people, you know what I mean? So we'll just randomly pull out something and it'll spark up a huge line because people are hyped for it.
Yeah,
and,
no, for sure.
It's just how it started because we started with only tacos and that's how the burritos started. I started doing rice and beans and I did burritos, and people were just the first 30 people in line were here for a burrito, and I'm like, dang, you guys ate up all the rice and beans already? Like, it's gone, dude. The burritos are gone. So people would get there early. People would get there on 30 minutes early. They're like, depending on what they wanted, If you wanted a quesadilla and rice and beans, or basically anything with rice and beans, you kind of had to be there pretty soon. And people, there's just so much hype to be there early, and it was a vibe, man.
That's crazy. Like she said, I gotta be there because he's gonna sell out in an hour. It's like
Yeah.
the urgency is real. Like, yeah.
Do
you do that on purpose? Like that urgency, like only doing a certain amount of pounds?
Yeah, because I would also want to keep it fresh. It's honestly just been divine the way everything had worked out. I've always cooked the amount of. We've never had to turn away 50 people, or unless we're at our hub, there's crazy foot traffic and there's plenty of vendors everywhere. But as far as the 2 years at my house, I would always turn away maybe 2 people, 3 people, or at some point people were just pulling up in the middle at 9 p.m. like, hey, you guys sell tacos here? We're like, we do, but that was earlier. Like, I was living at my aunt's house and she was kind of like, all right, this is getting kind of big, like people are coming here at any time of the day, or like they just heard that there was tacos at this place. And it just always worked out. Like I never had to turn away a ton of people, and I would always want to keep it fresh. I wouldn't want to like just, I wouldn't want to overcook and just have food left over, and I was still working a 9 to 5, so I couldn't really just like open up any day that I was, still slaving to my 9 to 5 job. So.
But I think that's what like the biggest blessing for him, and I tell him all the time. I'm like, you have no idea how blessed you are. The fact that you get to work, sell food, and this is at the front yard, and then now he's on the truck, right? Still only selling for 3 hours every time and selling out every time, but he's making double the meat from the front yard. He's making double the meat now on a truck and still selling out within 3 hours. So it's like making double the meat because now he has a bigger grill, so he can serve people very fast.
A lot more efficient.
Plancha was like this big.
Yeah.
At the house,
Yeah.
A little Blackstone. And then when we got the food truck, I was like, oh, this is huge. I gotta get my rhythm down, and like I can do 25, 30 tacos at a time.
Could store more rice and
over
beans.
here, and the rice and beans, everything got bigger, and we can do more, and we're just more efficient with the full staff and more. So it's like
it runs smoothly.
Are you still the one cooking all the time or no?
Yeah, I still season everything. Okay. If you're asking that, and then also I flip every taco that's on there.
Trying to get him away from flipping tacos, but
you gotta give that trust to somebody else, or what is it?
For sure. My focus wasn't in that phase. We moved from phase 1 from the house, phase 2 buying the truck, and phase 3 was like maintaining, and our focus was towards our wedding and our household and our dynamic just balance with family and our new lifestyle. So we're definitely moving into a new phase now where it's like things are changing for I'm happy the wedding is over and we're not planning that anymore, and we can get back to, you know, content creating and taking photos and videos and entertaining the community that we built. Because people love it, and they send us ideas to what to do. You know, you guys should make this video, that stuff. So they love to see us post new content, and it's definitely just been on kind of a hold. And I have interviews that I hadn't edited for Bianca,
So many
and
videos
things like that. So it's like, all right, we're getting back to it. Things are slowing down, and we're just gonna, you know, we're pushing for me to be able to step back from the grill and focus more on online things.
It's because he's so good at it. Like, when I tell you this man does everything for his business, he does everything for his business. He's prepping the day before all the food, every single thing. We don't touch anything. He literally makes every single thing on the food truck. And then he's also flipping the tacos. So then he'll also be recording, like, if there's a little break from flipping the tacos, he's like, all right, mom, can I have you like make a burrito real quick? And then she's like sprinkling the thing, and he has to get the right angles whenever he asks one of us to get the angles. It's like, it kind of works out. We're a little shaky or we don't have the right angle. He's like, it's fine. Like, just film me flipping tacos, because he's fast at it, right? Mm-hmm. So that I'm like, oh, I hope I get the right angle. Oh, I'm hoping I get the right shot. But whenever he's recording, it's like, he's a videographer. He also edits his own videos. He edits all of my interviews. And when I tell you, do you think those interviews are really nice and clean? I have to experience the like pauses and like I'm like, all right, what do you think? And then they're still chewing, and then it's like 10 seconds of chewing still, and I'm like, and then they start talking. So he edits out all the silence and all the noise. I mean, you guys know, obviously, when you guys do, you know, editing out the little pauses and stuff, but it's like, he does all of that, and he does his own merch, and he does the video cuts and edits and the food ones and the interviews and everything. And he loves doing that, and he's so good at it. But flipping tacos is what takes more of his time away from that, and then it just gets him exhausted at the end of the night. Obviously, it's 3 hours nonstop of flipping tacos, nonstop. So a lot of the videos that you do see, also, it's like on downtime. He'll turn up the grill, and he's like, all right, I need to film this, you know, I need to film this quesadilla, I need to film this, and then, you know, that takes more work away from it too. Right?
That's how I would do it from the house too. If it had been a while, I would a few days or weeks where I felt like I needed new content, I would, you know, work and sell, and I would probably cut. Well, I'm about to announce this for the first time, but I would cut the line short. You know, leave myself a little bit so that the following day I could just have a content day. And I'm just like, all right, let me get back out there when there's nobody around. I'll just like film my content, take pictures of of tacos and stuff.
Or 2 hours before.
And I've definitely done it before the pop up where I would usually be scrambling. I was never trying to be late for a pop up or anything. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely enjoy doing all of it, and I never knew like I was that skilled at it either. You know, like I definitely like photography, I like Photoshop, and I like, you know, I could spend hours just editing and trying things out, and like I don't consider myself a graphic designer or anything, but I'll look at logos and flip things and like make it my own, and you know, and it'd be fun, and it turned into my whole personality for a while, for a year or two, where I'm just like looking at every detail of every logo on the fax bus, on billboards, on, you know, on cartons, on, you know, Coca-Cola, see what they're doing, see what every brand is doing, and like you could see it, and you could change things for yourself and make them work, you know. Sometimes it's corny or it might rip off, but I just have files and files of just drafts of things, you know.
Like the Valero logo, yeah. You know how it's the V, right? Mm-hmm. Valero. He flipped it with his A. And then, but he put his A upside down. Is it that A?
No,
it's the A with the taco, but he did the A upside down, and it looks like the Valero logo. And I'm just like, how did you do that? There was someone that he posted on his story, and someone's like, yo, I need to buy that T-shirt. Like, I want that Valero Anthony's Tacos flip.
And it never came out. I just, I go get my propane at the Valero, you know, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh, like, I changed it. I put into the Valero under it. I put taquero, and like it was cool. I used the colors and everything, and just things like that. They sometimes, and then they transform into like different things. Where like this, I kind of just did off of instead of San Francisco, I put my AT right there in the middle. I was trying to figure out a new. I needed my initials type of deal. You know, I had the character, my face logo, and I had the A with the taco inside of it for Anthony's Tacos. And I was like, I want a monogram like of my letters ATF or AT, and everybody was like, ATF's kind of like the, you know what I mean?
The FBI or something. Yeah.
I
And
started
was
calling
like,
you
okay.
AT.
She calls me AT. She was claiming that I could never use the AT, you know,
Yeah.
things. But you know, I landed on that one just from doing something else, and like another logo with the cursive was just like I did the Dodgers for my mom, and it's just like I separated it from the Dodger logo, and those things kind of work out like that. You find a placement for it on
Instead of the
something
baseball
else.
going up, it's the taco going up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but after that, I was realizing that I was deconstructing something I had already done, and like I had turned my words into the Anthony's tacos. I have it like the Lakers on a hat too, and those flew a lot, and yeah, just learning and trying out things and just having fun with it.
Yeah, you ever look back like to see how far you came and maybe you didn't have like you ever think like man like I remember when I didn't have these skills or evolving them like over time to maybe some of your first designs to now?
Yeah, I definitely didn't. I had to get back into it because I learned Photoshop in high school, and it was just like one class that I took for multimedia, and I still don't even know like Adobe Illustrator, which is fairly similar, but it's just around the interface to get around it and shortcuts and everything. I know everything more on Photoshop, and I know everything. Sometimes I'll just give stuff to my graphic designer. I'm like, hey, like, can you like vectorize this and like redraw it or whatever? This is just like my idea. If I were to give you a sketch, but I gave it to you in Photoshop form and it's like pixelated, or you know, it won't blow up really big into a poster or a billboard or anything like that. So sometimes that'll happen. Like
Yeah.
you know, I like have this T-shirt design idea, but like, can you guys redo it? Because you know, I don't know what I'm doing completely. I just always tell them I don't completely know what I'm doing, but like I like to have fun with it.
Yeah.
So they've definitely grown since I started, you know, the business and just fiddling around with the computer.
Man, what did you do before you started the talk? Because I know you said you had a 9 to 5. What were you doing then?
I was a forklift operator for like FedEx, a 3PL, third party logistics. We ship things like Tums and toothpaste and Flonase and.
Oh, okay.
So.
And what was that feeling like? I know you said your first time you got off work, and then what you say like an hour or half an hour later?
Yeah,
you're
like an hour
flipping
later.
tacos
Yeah,
in
for
the.
sure. I was flipping tacos. I had meat stewing. I had somebody start. My aunt made me start the meat when I was at work. And then I had time, and I was like, I'll be home at this time. I should be able to turn it off. You know, it takes 4 or 5 hours to do it. And yeah, I got off work, and I was still in my work clothes, like in a safety T-shirt. Yeah, like a not a vest, but like I have like our 120 days of safety, whatever T-shirt, you know. And I'm just flipping tacos. No, I had the logo now, but I just had a banner and a canopy. You know, I didn't even have a branded canopy and all those things. Like as I got to make more money and just put more money back into it. Yeah, that was kind of the thing, and that was the plan. You know, like once I decided I was gonna do it, and I moved in with my aunt. I say, hey, like I'm just gonna stack all my money and like put it back into this business and try to grow it. And people don't buy taco trucks within the first 24 months or 18 or even sooner because it had to get built out. But you know, I would recommend you don't do that and you do build a reputation for yourself and a brand, because those type of things that's a big risk.
Yeah.
Those food trucks, and some people jump into it too soon or not fully committed to it and loving it. So I'm definitely blessed and grateful that it was working out the way that it was, and I could see it happening as I was was going with it, and I left my job and I was like, that's it, we're gonna go more days with this. And
how fast did you go into a taco truck?
I would say we were probably at like around 18 months, and then they took 6 months or so, 8 months. I feel like it was pretty long to like build it out. Things were slow. We couldn't find generators and like things like that
because around COVID time.
Yeah, COVID and the food truck scenes had just like popped up, and we just weren't getting anything from the ports and stuff like that, So materials were low, and yeah, I would say it's pretty fast.
Your brand was already big before you got the truck, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right around 2 years, and we had probably the first 3 years we had gained 10,000 followers on Instagram every year, and I was just pumping out the content, pumping out the videos, pumping out the pictures. It's not. It's difficult, but it's definitely like easy to get people to drool over food. But to earn that follow is definitely a task. But people love the videos, and we're dipping a taco in consomme and it's dripping. And it's like, oh man, like So we went hard with it, and I was definitely staying on track and staying on trend. When I met her, she would be like, hey, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working, but I'm like scrolling and I'm looking at reels and I'm listening for sounds and things that are trending, and I'm still learning, and I'm still learning, listening to all the Gary Vee stuff and watching how that stuff works. And we're learning about search engine tags and hashtags and what trending sounds are happening, jumping on trends. So I was kind of working in that sense, and I would save stuff and I would send things to myself that I would want to recreate, or
And when he means by
at that
working,
time it was just sounds.
No, the when he means by working, like scrolling through videos, he has like his Anthony's Tacos page, which has like all food stuff, right? And then he has like his regular TikTok or his regular his personal Instagram reels. Like those are funny, and I know he has like some funny reels, right? So there'll be times where I'm like hanging out with him and we're like watching reels, and it's from his personal one, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. So it's so entertaining. It's my favorite thing to watch his Instagram because he has funny videos. So then like I'll see him like scrolling through videos, and I'll go sit next to him, and like I'm like, oh, I'm excited. And then he's like every like 5 seconds he's just scrolling, and it's all food, and I'm like, why are you scrolling through these so quickly? And I'm just like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm working. I'm looking at other food content videos because I need to see like like what's in right now. And I'm like, these are not the videos that I want to look at with you, because he's so quick with it and he doesn't finish. He'll watch it for 5 seconds and he's like, next. And then I'm like, what? And like, so that's when he's working. I do not want to be watching reels with him.
But he got pretty good reels out of that.
Yeah, for
one
sure.
Of my favorite ones is when you guys, I think the bull comes and then you just shove her into the truck.
I didn't shove her there.
I definitely did that willingly and threw myself at the truck.
I don't know. It looked like she got shoved.
Those
People did say like, why did you have to push her so hard?
Yeah, those went so well on TikTok, and just they went viral, man. That's kind of the new marketing this last quarter.
Making your own commercials.
Someone's like falling over, and then they're just like
the bait and switch type of thing. And we threw water on her. I threw water on her. I didn't push her into the truck. But the water splash video on TikTok has like 13 million views, and it's just like
probably more now.
Man. Yeah, it's at like 13.5.
Oh, okay.
And then the pushing when the bull hits her, it's just those type of things where like we took a day and we were like, hey, we're gonna do all this, and it started getting engagement. Why'd you waste all those tacos? Why'd you push her into the thing? So it grew. When you want to get to like 1,000 comments and however many likes, like the engagement for it to keep getting pushed, those things happen. Or in the video where I threw water on her, like my foot was wet and it made a sound, and people were like, did you fart, bro? Like, and like, why'd you have to throw the water on her like that? Or like her laugh and she wasn't able to say the pitch. Like all those things pushed for engagement, and people wanted to comment about it, and it took off, man. And all the comments were in English, and then they started going to like Spanish, and I was like, oh, this is like in the Spain area and the Venezuela. That's like crazy, you could tell where it was virally taking off and where people were sending it to. And those things like that you can't get without just posting and trying it, because we were hesitant on like what is she supposed to say or whatever, and I would tell her just do it, like just go for it. Like
he didn't tell me what to say on those videos too. When I said horchata and tacos, I
was like,
cool off this summer.
I said your laugh is just gonna captivate everybody too, and that was half of it too. People were just, I love your laugh. Where's your page? I want to follow you. Like it just led to more of that.
But I think what definitely helps too is that when I do these videos, he's my favorite videographer. Sorry, Kenneth, no disrespect. But he's my favorite videographer because I know that and I shouldn't even say videographer, I should say also editor, because I trust that so even if whatever Kenneth records or whatever he records, I know that he's going to chop it up to where it's gonna look good. So I might feel awkward while doing the video. I might feel nervous. I might feel like, gosh, what if I say something wrong?
Yeah.
And if I say something wrong, I know that he's gonna cut it out, or he's gonna like put a meme in there where it's like, oh, okay, it doesn't sound as like boring, or it doesn't, he'll make it funnier. So if I do have like a pause in something and I mess up, he'll put in like one of those like meme people that like, I don't know, like, yeah. Like there was one of our videos, I'm doing an interview and she's like, it tastes like, and she's like stuttering, and then there's a little boy that's like, ham, what is he saying? And he puts in that clip, so then that's like, she's one of our friends, Juliet, and people still like to this day are like, oh, I remember that Juliet video, like when she's like stuttering, and he put in that clip of that little boy saying like ham.
Yeah.
So I feel confident, very confident in like whatever I am recording, because I'm just like, well, what do I do? And he's like, just jump into the truck, like just run into it. And or he like the video of us dancing to the They Not Like Us. That I was like, I think he came up with the idea, and I was like, oh, dude, I'll record you for sure. Like, it's just gonna be you dancing, right? Like, da 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 da. He's like, I'm like, he's so good at dancing, right? So I'm recording him. I'm recording his footwork. I do the A minor, and I'm like, and I'm pretty fresh with it, right? Like sometimes when I record, when I'm confident in what I'm recording,
yeah.
So then I'm like doing it, and then he sets up, and he was like, he like pulls me in, and he's like coming down. So I was like, I am not dancing on this video, bro. Like I do not know how to dance like you. And he's like, just come in. So that like was so what's like the improv? Like that dance that we did, I was not planning on being in that freaking Kendrick Lamar video, and he pulled me in, and he's like, just do this, like do the smees, and I'm like, and he's like, let me see your footwork, and I'm like, toot toot. I saw that. Like that was all improv, and I was just like, bro, like. The fact that and then the way he chopped it up, right? Because I just recorded him completely, and I was like, all right, Tat, you got it. And he sets up the camera, and then he gets me, and I'm like, how are you gonna like do this? Like, like, how are you like? And it went so perfectly. Like, I don't know how he chopped it up, and the fact that he chops it up in like, because I do oh my gosh. Now I'm getting like traction, right, for like Bianca B, and I'm doing like videos, right? And I'll take like, when I edit my own videos, I'm like, all right, it's a whole day's worth of like me editing, or like, a few hours that I'm editing these videos. We did the Kendrick Lamar video, literally within 30 minutes, that fool has the whole freaking minute long Instagram reel, puts it out the next day. And I'm like, how did you? He was like, check out the video. And I was like, that's so good. You literally did this right now? How? Like, he's so good at pumping out videos and like editing and chopping it up. And like, so yes, when it comes to all that stuff, I feel very confident with his editing skills, because I know that even if it looks goofy, or even if I sound goofy, or if I say something goofy, or like I'll be doing an interview and I'm like, dude, I shouldn't have said that right there. Like, cut that out. Like, it was just, or one of the people is like kind of just like overdoing, or like, I don't know, just something like, I just know it's always gonna, I was like, oh, that person I don't think, there was even a video where I was like, I don't think this interview is gonna go good. And it's like a really, well-known person in Fresno, but I don't think it's gonna go good because there's a lot of pauses, and she didn't really say anything too engaging. Like, obviously she loved the taco, but it wasn't funny. It's not like, it's just not entertaining. But I would love to have this video because she's really well known, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, all right, I got you. Like, maybe we just won't post it. Does some editing, and I'm like, dude, it looks like it's a really good video. Like, you took out all the pauses, you added some like little inserts and little clips here, little clips there, and like, so that's what's like beautiful to see, or like cool to see, is like he lets my creativity wander, I create, and then he makes it even better. And then I feel like, I did that, and I'm like, no, you did that, but like I kind of did that too. It's like weird. I don't know. Like, I'm very blessed also that like, man, now he's my partner for life, and like, I don't know. It's just like it's really good. It's a really cool team.
I think maybe like, since it sounds like you're like, you got the vision, and so when you're recording, you already have like the end vision and goal as you're like getting those angles, but you can tell you guys have a lot of fun with it too. Yeah. And then that's why you said you're like, I wasn't like a big dancer. I'm like, I saw that video too. I'm like, you're definitely a dancer. Yeah. And then the wedding one too. I was like, oh, that was dope.
Yeah. He wasn't big on Mexican dancing, but you listen to Bay Area music, and so he has dances a lot. I just wasn't into.
I was in like, that's funny. I was in like 8 to 10 quinceañeras. Like I at some point I loved dancing and like getting dressed up for sure, like wearing the tuxedo, renting and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely like to intentionally shoot things like rather than just you can either we do big date night videos or we do things like that, like I'll intentionally shoot what my scenes are rather than just recording a big long piece and like chopping it down, hoping to catch something. But yeah, I definitely have like a vision sometimes to do things.
I forgot about those too. Videos. The date night videos. I wouldn't even know that he was recording. Like all of those date night videos that we do have on our page, I would never know that he's recording. So I'm just like licking mashed potatoes like off his plate, like just because I'm being dumb. And then I'm like, oh, you recorded that? Like, oh dang, or like me like spitting like putting my drink into his drink, like it's just funny stuff like that. And I'm like, I had no idea you were recording. And then next day he's like, oh, look at our date night video, and I'm just like tearing. I'm like, you made that from yesterday? Like when? Like I had no idea you were recording any of this. So that's crazy. And like that's when like he made, I think, you totally had like a man, you see, he knew what he was doing, but he was already making me feel so comfortable on video. I don't know if you knew that or not, but like I'm realizing it for the first time that like out of all those date night videos that I had no idea he was recording me, I was like, dang, that's me. Like, you recorded that of me. Like, okay, oh, I look good right there. Or like, oh, you got my good angles. Like, I always like to be filmed on this side. Like, even right now, like, he chose that chair. He knew that this was my good side. I was in the restroom, and
you guys kind of had a silent thing, like, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys are right here. And he's like, okay.
I had to calculate. Yeah.
And he did that. I was just like, I got to go to the restroom. And then I sat down, and I was like, dude, that's so tight that he sat on that side. Like, he knows my good side. So, like, internally, I'm just like, thank you, babe. Like, but, like, he would always know my good angles in the videos, on our date night videos, and that made me, I don't know, I was just like, that's so cool. So then when he did ask me to do videos, I was like, well, yeah, we already have all these videos of us. And then he told me one time, like, right in the beginning, before doing the Anthony's Tacos videos, he was like, I'm gonna make you like famous B. Like, I'm gonna make you like Bianca B is gonna be everywhere. Like, you're gonna be on TV one day, or this and this and that. And then I just started getting pitches. So like everything that I have on my Instagram, it's, people have just been asking like, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do this? Like, you want to do this video? Want to do this collab? And I was like, baby. And he was like, I told you, like, I'll get you famous. Like, I told you, I'm going to put you on the big screen. So that's been cool. But like, yeah, I didn't realize that like that made me feel very confident too. Like all our date night videos, for me to do interviews for you as well. Yeah, I was very used to being on the camera.
You gotta hit the bah, 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 or what?
That
one. I'm like, we got it recorded, so you might hit the button.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You guys have a really good chemistry. A question I did have for you was, you blew up on your own, but how big do you think she was to the addition of your guys' brand?
She was definitely vital. She was a huge part in that. Coming in at 2 years, and we had built a big reputation for our reels as far as just food content, and I built it just doing a lot of giveaways. You would share it, tag us, and we'd enter you into the giveaway. Again, like three meals every time we opened up, I would give away for free. And back again to the marketing and the podcast and things that I would listen to. I started to realize like I had a community now at 20,000, and we're gonna be posting, which is gonna be informational about where we are. It's going to be informational or provide value with things like the podcast and like how businesses, what you need to do to succeed, or like what works for me, the things that didn't work for me. Content like that will be informational and provide value. And then the last one was like entertaining them, and that's kind of where her being a mascot probably wouldn't have had the effect that being Bianca B and being herself and being our personality, our interviewer, and things like that had, because it's just so much more entertaining. pieces of content. We probably wouldn't have had a call. Mascots don't talk. If she was in a taco suit, it would be funny, but it would be in a closet somewhere right now. Maybe we took pictures or pull it out every once in a while where kids can shake its hand and like hug and stuff. But her being a whole personality and interviewing just added the entertainment aspect to our followers and just allowed them to see something funny at work, because everybody's scrolling wherever they are. Like you're in the bathroom chilling at work, and Bianca B comes on your phone and it's an interview, and you get to see people's reaction, because the feeling when you first ate it or every time you do eat it. You're like, man, it's so good, and you get to see somebody else like have that experience, and it's dope to see every time when people have it. And we've had all types of different situations too, where it's just like we had a guy who was like skeptical and who's just like, I'm gonna eat it without all the toppings first. That's how I know it's gonna be real good. And like he bites it in his face like, oh wow, like, oh, okay, yeah, like
And
let's
I'm
put
over here
everything on
like,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he zooms into my face like going, and then it's back to his face zoomed in, and he's like like some great like.
Don't got anything on it. Yeah, just plain Jane.
Yeah.
Right. But definitely Vital, just huge addition to the whole brand, and people wanted her character and cartoon, and they're like, put her on the truck and stickers and Bianca B merch and things like that. So, and
I don't think I realized that made a big difference until I'm gonna have to say it, baby, I'm sorry. So like, how like my first experience with seeing him out in public, I was like, yo, that dude looks like the freaking cartoon, right? Like, so I'm like, are you Anthony's Tacos? Like, are you Anthony's Tacos? Like, the same picture? And he was like, yeah, that's me. So then, as before Bianca B, like we'd be out, and obviously he would get that all the time. Are you Anthony's Tacos? Are you Anthony from Anthony's Tacos? And then once I started doing all those videos, we'd literally be right next to each other, and people would come up to me like, are you Bianca B? And I'm like, or are you Bianca B from Anthony's Tacos? And I'm like, yeah, like we're at Panda Express. And she's like, are you? And then I'm like, yeah. And he's literally right next to me. He's like, I'm Anthony's Tacos. Like, hello, like this is my business. Yeah. And then like I'm at Sprouts shopping, and they're like, there's a girl working at Sprouts, and she's like, Bianca B. And I'm like, hi. And she's like, sorry, I know who you are. And I'm like, thank you. There's even multiple people have came up to the truck, and I'm always taking the orders, right? I'm front window. There's been people that literally have just waited in line, like, I just came because I wanted to say hi to you. Like, I mean, yeah, give me tacos too, but like, I just wanted to say hi. I'm like, my son loves your videos. He wants to say hi. And I'm like, thank you. And then like people that run up to the truck are like, Bianca B, I love you. Okay, bye, I gotta go. And then they leave, and I'm like, dude, that's so tight. So like, bro, like, I'm nobody but hi. Like, bro, just talk to me, because I like talking.
Yeah.
So
it's huge.
cool.
It's huge to the brand too. I did a lot of that kissing and shaking hands type of thing. Like you got to be in the community and be involved. Like I would be downtown a lot of the R Hop community and Tiogas and events like that, and the taco truck throwdowns. You got to be out there and shake hands and be personable, with the people, because we're definitely humble, and she does all the bragging for me. And we just the other day we had our pastors come by and eat, and they were like, "Oh, you got to be more braggadocious. Like we didn't even know. We've known you for how long?" But I was like, I just can't. I know it's great, but she does all the talking for me.
I love that. Yeah. I love that.
And he's.
I have to give him his flowers.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it for himself, but I love that he doesn't do it for himself. Right. Like he is very humble, and it's
part of like that. Like you just stay level, because I don't get high on my own supplies and praises and things like that, but I also don't get down when people tell me, or people are being rude on the internet or things like that. You kind of stay balanced in between.
He's so good at that. He's so good at that.
You guys get hate?
You guys get haters?
Not too much. On viral videos, that's like a given for sure. When we won the Central Valley's Best Awards and things like that, there was a little bit on the next few videos and posts and things like that, or you'll just hear little chirps, but you don't bother them. I don't know if certain accolades and things like that, people just have something to say,
Yeah.
And
there would be times where I would do the interviews, and that's what I'm saying. He's so good at that. He doesn't get off the super highs and doesn't go super low. If he does, again, we are we just all give our praise to God and we put him first before everything we do. But yes, I think that is a very big blessing that we don't really get a lot of hate. On TikTok, it only happened once we went viral, and then it was like, I don't know, like a wait comment or something, like, just very little, but that was like 1 to 2 comments and that was it. And then on the Instagram interviews, we wouldn't get any hate up until it would start getting viral. And remember how it would be like all like positive stuff, and then after like 2 weeks we'd get like, she's not funny, and like a million comments of like, oh my gosh, this was so funny, I'm interviewing a dog, or this and this, that, and then it's like, she's not even funny. And then we have like our supporters like, ew, you had a bad day. And like, I'm just like, babe, I'm not funny. We're just gonna like laugh at it. But and at first, I think like the first comment, I was like, should I let this like bring me down? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I don't know how to feel about this because I never, yeah. But I don't know. I just, definitely prayer and that, like, I was like, if I definitely prayed on that, and we would pray on that. But like, I would be like, okay, if I continue to do these videos, if this is going to am I going to allow myself to get hurt off of these comments? And I'm like, no, I know that my worth is in like Jesus, right? And like, that's what I put my worth in. And I'm just not going to be, I'm just supporting his business, and that's who I'm, what the entertainment is for. Like, it's all promotional. And if my baby loves it, obviously I love it, because there'll be times where he's like, oh, that interview, like, maybe you should have said that. And I'm like, okay, don't post it. Like, like, he does give me good feedback, and I'm like, don't post it then, like, take it out. And he's like, all right, I am. Like, don't worry, I ain't gonna post it. I'm like, okay. But like, it's rare that we have that. But as long as like he's liking the video, even like when I feel like not confident, I'm like, bro, you're not gonna like this video. And he like edits it and he's like, it's great. And I'm like, dang, it is great. So like, I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, because he's so good at not getting off on the super highs and like not getting low on the super lows, like, he's helped me become very level headed. And then prayer, obviously. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're very good at that. So I'm very, yeah. But I mean, his food speaks for itself too. So it's like, how do you, someone can say like, oh, like his food, I bet you his food's not even that good. And it's like, bro, you haven't had it. Like, we're not even going to get mad at that comment because you haven't had it. Like, I promise you, once you do have it, it's going to be really good. And for the people that don't like it, he also doesn't care, because he's like, yo, if you like these tacos, there's no competition. He just makes what he makes, and it's really good. Yeah. Like, well, we think it's really good. I eat it every time I'm on the freaking truck. Like, it's so hard. Even like for the wedding, I was like, bro, I can't eat any more tacos. Like, I'm a little thicky right now, So like for the wedding, I'm like working, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna have a taco, but give me some meat with salsa on the side, because I need to, like, bro, it smells so good on there. Like, there's no way I can't eat it every time we sell. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no.
It's just, I don't know. So yeah, so even like the comments that we do get, that it's like, oh, I've tried his tacos before, they're okay, and it's like, yeah, but you didn't say they were bad. Like, it may not be your style of taco, but like, they're good. Like, and I eat it every single time. So I'm like, there will be times where I'm taking orders, and I'm like, they're like, oh, just give me 2 tacos. And I'm like, all right, but how hungry are you? And they're like, yeah, I'm pretty hungry. And I'm like, I promise you, 3 is the golden number. Like, everybody comes back getting 2 more if they only order 2. And some people will be like, all right, give me 3. And then some people are like, nah, just give me 2. They eat, they come back in line and so disappointed, like, give me 3 more. And I'm like, hey, let's go. Like, got you. He's like, you were right. Like, they're like, you were right. Like, I should have ordered 3. And I'm like, yeah, but now you ordered 3 more. So like, got you. Now you got 5. You played yourself. I tried helping you, but you played yourself now. Yeah.
What about stress? Like, how high stress levels do you guys get to? And how do you manage it too? Or how do you like kind of bring it down?
I had to find a new rhythm with the new, moving in with Bianca, and then our new lifestyle. Mm-hmm. I don't handle stress very well. Like, I get pretty quiet, and we've gone through that, where it's just like, I just need to do everything that I need to get done. And I'm always, on time, or like, I really love being efficient at things. And when things are not, in order, or like, it's just a balance, because I take my kids to school in Clovis, and I live 30 minutes away from Clovis. So it's just like, I gotta go pick them up, go drop them off, type of thing, while I'm in the kitchen doing things that getting ready for the pop-ups and things like that. So pertaining to our schedule, that's why our schedule kind of moves around. I'll try to work when I don't have them because I can be in the kitchen all day, play my music, listen to a podcast, and I'm working. But in the beginning years, I didn't have a lot of stress. I was being able to handle it all. I was for sure working when I didn't have my kids, and then I started working kind of when I had them, and it was kind of getting in the way and getting stressful and slowing me down. But I can't really say other than just making it happen. Like
just pushing through.
As far as with the workload, that's workload wise. I don't have a lot of stress otherwise. Try and make anything. I don't force anything either, working wise or merch wise, and getting things off. I give a lot of things away for free, or I just make it happen.
Yeah, whatever's going on. Because I feel like sometimes like you might feel like this is pulling me. This needs my attention. This needs to get done, and you're like. You can feel overwhelmed at times.
Most definitely. Be a father, a husband, a business owner, and then time for myself. And you're pulled in all of those directions.
I think the main thing that I would say when it comes to money, obviously you work. If you need money, you work, right? So he's very good at handling his money situation. He's very good at being a father. He's always on time to every single event that the kids have. He's always, anything for the kids, that's a no-brainer, right? But when it comes to the business, he's also very efficient. And I think the only part about the business and our life is about being efficient and on time. So it's more of like a timely thing. He doesn't stress about the Anthony's Tacos business. So that's what was hard for me, is because let's say he quit his job, right? And now he's working, he's living with his aunt, and he's cooking all day long. Nobody is next to him. He doesn't have any coworkers. He doesn't have any, workers under him. So if he's running low on time and he's stressed out, nobody sees it. So he's just in his stress alone. And then when it comes to go pick up the kids, he goes, picks up the kids, and now he's working and he has a smile on his face. But nobody saw him stressed, right? Us now being together, and when we started living together, I didn't know that part of Anthony. And me, I'm a very optimistic person. So I'm like, oh, we got 30 minutes, or we got 3 hours till we sell Anthony's Tacos. We can do all of that. We just got to it's okay. All right. We're a little stressed. All right. It's okay. We don't have time to make horchatas. That's fine. It's okay. And I'm like, it's okay. Right. And he's very a matter of fact. He's not what is the opposite, pessimistic? Right? Yeah. You're not a pessimistic person. I'm very much an optimistic person. He's just a very matter of the fact. So he's like, we're not doing horchatas anymore. Yeah, it's not happening. And I'm like, okay, that's okay that's not happening. Are you sure? I could do it. And he's like, no, we don't got time for it. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, why are you talking differently? Because I'm like, I'm trying to make you happy, and I'm trying to. And he's like, I'm just working. And he just gets quiet, and he doesn't even say I'm just working. He's like, and just stays quiet. And I'm like, who am I with? At first, when I first started dealing with it, I was like, who is this man? We're laughing 24/7 all the time, and now we moved in together, and I'm seeing you work. And it was a conversation that we did have where it was like, he was like, when I did get stressed living alone, nobody saw it. So I didn't know that staying quiet was something that could bother someone, right? Because he's like, this is my work. This is what I got to do. And at first, my thing is I'm not going to be stressed in the moment because there's nothing I can do about it. So when I get stressed, I'm like, I'm going to keep a smile on, and I'm going to pray through it, and I'm going to, just do the best I can. And if I'm doing the best I can, then I'm happy, If that's all I could do, that's all I could do. He's very this is all the time I have, and I can't be happy until it's done. And then once it's done, now we're selling tacos. He has a smile, and I'm like, now you have a smile on your face? like 30 minutes ago before we start. Like, what do you mean? Like, what the heck? It's not that he's being rude to me or anything. He was just quiet, right? And so I'm kind of like, let me just stay out of his way. Like, I'm gonna be over here, capping little salsa lids and like stay away from him. And then we're selling tacos and he's laughing with all the customers and he's like, A, B, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, baby, stay positive. You are good. Flip those tacos. And like, and that's when we had just had big conversations like, hey, that's a little, it's not a little uncomfortable for me. It's a big uncomfortable for me when you do go, like, when you do get stressed. Like, I know you're, and then, you know, just organization at the house. And that's one thing that kind of stresses him out too, is just organization. It needs to be organized. Something that one of my flaws. And then just like time, which is also a big flaw of mine. I don't have a perception of time. So I think I have like 3 hours and I only have 30 minutes, you know? I'm over exaggerating, but so that's something that I'm like learning off of him too. And I just really appreciate it. And he's appreciating that, like, I am a very optimistic person. And that's something that, like, not only as working together, because it is, we work together, we live together, we are together. Right. So we're together all the time, but we don't mind it. We love it. I know some people, it's hard to work with your partner. It's very easy to work with each other. We don't get tired of each other. The only part that I would say that does get stressful is when he does get stressed, he goes quiet, then it causes me to get stressed, but I don't get quiet. I'm like more like trying to fix the problem, because I'm a fixer. All right, if this doesn't go wrong, let's try a different way, but I'm going to do it with a smile, and I'm going to do it with love, and I'm going to do it with like, and he's like, I can do it myself, and let me just do it. And I'm like, okay, you could definitely do it yourself, but tell me that, you know, like communicate. So it's more like the communication, because he's so used to being alone. He was single for so many years. So he's like, I got to go pick up the kids. I got to go cook the meat. I got to go season this, and I got to go do this. And so when we lived together, I was like, I can go pick up the kids if you need. I can take off work, and we both have our own businesses. So I can also take off work and block off time. If I need to go pick up the kids, I can do that. If I need to take them to school, I can also do that. And he's like, at first it was like awkward for him. He was like, I guess you can. No. Like, and you know, so there's this, I think that transition of like, hey, I'm your partner. Like, we're one. And like, I got you, you know? And it was a little bit of him letting a lot of that responsibility, not responsibility, is that the word? A lot of that.
Take off the load.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think that's why it's tough for you to let go of that cooking role? You just been doing everything yourself for a long time?
Yeah, definitely part of it, and then part of it just not being part of, I felt like the transition phase where, because we've definitely experienced somebody who owned a taco truck, and you know, we're like, hey, you know, we just met him, and he was like, oh yeah, that's my taco truck over there. And it was like, it's just the vibe that we had from him, just overall in general, but also just that it didn't sit right. And I already know that, like, I'm just still integrating like my brand and my identity, and like people are still like, oh, you're Anthony, like you're still like work on the truck, you know, that's still cool. But definitely we're getting to that phase where it's like I can transition backwards, or back out a little bit. I can work a window, I can go out and I can greet and I can shake hands and, you know, talk to guests and talk to people. And while I do, you know, pictures, videos, and things like that, so I'm definitely excited to start to work on the business rather than working in the business so much. Yeah. So that's the next phase.
He's been very, I don't stop talking, right? But when I got into this business with him, or not got into it, but like, you know, when we became together, even as best friends, I was like, I'm a business owner as well, so I have a very creative mindset. So I'm like, oh, what if you did this? Obviously pitching mascot ideas, right? But there would be like, oh, why don't you do this? Or what, what if we did this? What if we did that? And he's like, there's a time and place for everything. He's like, I'm not ready to, this was like maybe 2 years ago. He was like, I was like, you should hire a cook. Like 2 years ago, we just got this food truck, like, or you just got this food truck. Get another cook, and then you can work more days so you're not burnt out. And 2 years ago, he wasn't ready for that. He was like, there's a time and place for everything. People need to see me on the truck making their food, you know, like people need to see this. Obviously Bianca B was like a big hype at that time. So me taking the orders, 2 years ago, I was like, nobody can do front window. Like I make people like, and I'm like, hey, welcome to Anthony's Tacos. Is it your first time? You got to ring that first time bell, right? And it's like, it's hype. It's like I'm hyping up every single person. They're going to see a smile no matter what. And I would tell him, I love your business just as much as you love yours. And that's rare to find because you cannot, like, you can always have your own business, right? But nobody's going to love your business like you do. And I told him, bro, I know it's not my own. I love your business like it's my own. Like, because I know what it feels like to love my own business, right? Nobody's going to love eyelashes or pure scalp or like anything like me. But I'm like, I love your business so much that I want to see you win and grow. And I would say myself, 2 years ago, I was like, bro, nobody's gonna get that same experience if I'm not taking their order front window. And then having the like, Bianca B, I just came to see you, right? And like say hi to you, or you take my order, like, can you say hi to my son or whatever, right? And but now, like 2 years later, we're both kind of talking, and I'm like, even if you at least stepped off the grill, but you're now second window where you're giving the food and I'm taking the order, you're giving the food. Bro, imagine the customers that are like, dude, it's Bianca and Anthony, because Anthony has his back towards everybody right now, and people want to see him too. But imagine us two at the front window while someone is cooking those tacos. At least let's take that step, right? And then he now has more opportunity to record because now he's second window, so he can use the camera more. He can do the. So it's definitely I understood what baby steps means and that there's a time and place for everything. So when he told me that, and I was like, okay, I don't understand it right now, but I respect you, and no matter what, I always tell him this is your business. Even if I have these 5 great ideas and I know they're going to hit, if he says I'm only going to do 2 of them and like those 3 are just not there yet, or like he's not even going to take any of them because he's like that's not the right time yet, I'm going to trust it because I will never fight him over his own business. I'm like, this is your business, right? I'm just here to love and support you. And I think that's why we have so much respect for each other, because I never view it as my business, but I love it like my business. And he respects that, and he definitely takes every word that I say into consideration and every idea that I have into consideration. So I have such a creative mindset, but I never feel like my voice is being unheard. And especially because he does take a lot of my um, pitches that I give, and it makes me like, I'm like, damn, like, that's tight that I do pitch out some things and it'll be like on merch. And I'm like, what if you moved it a little bit to the left? Or like, if you put that right in the center, or like, what if you changed, like, it looks a little curved right there, if you made it like pointed. And it's like, just things that it takes a village, right? You can't do everything alone. And like, even when I say that, I'm like, dang, the color is just off. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just the color. I'll go back and start, working on one of my own clients, come back and he's like, check this out. I was like, you changed the color? Dude, it looks so good. Like, it's just crazy how like, I'll just, and he just takes it into consideration. So I feel very heard. I feel very loved. And so, yeah, I don't know, bringing it back to the stress thing. I think the only thing that that causes the stress is more time and efficiency. Anything other than that, he does a very good job. But let me tell you, if there's traffic and he's running late on time, you don't want to see Anthony at that time. But he's working on it, guys. He's working on it. Yeah. He's not even, like I'm telling you, he's a silent person. He doesn't do any honking. He's just there silent driving, and you just know that something's wrong.
How key do you think like having the right partner is, like, especially as a business owner and like managing, or having that your person basically, like
that is key. I mean, after hearing all of that, like, there's no way I wasn't like, you can't not marry this person. Like, she's so supportive, and it's just, she's brought me closer to God. She's brought me more awareness around my own regulating my emotions, or like, she's just bringing things out of me that are my weakness. We're contrasting each other's weaknesses and saying, hey, like, put this on your awareness, like, let's work on these things. And we've definitely been a team in the business. I don't shun away, like, I can't say any of her ideas. Maybe she might feel like I shut down something, but I definitely have an open ear to what she has to say, and people love her, and I love her, and the way that her brain thinks and the ideas that she has. And if I can make them, come to life and come to and work and try to, let it produce, and everything that we do online for the business is just awareness. Uh, you never, I can run ads all day, and I haven't hit everybody in Fresno to see our stuff or like try it. Like I said, people have known about us, and it takes them a year sometimes to come out and like try us and give us a shot. So they have their places. Everybody has their places. They know where they like to go for asada tacos. They know where they like to go for enchiladas. They know where they like to go for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
As far as food, I have my places too, and I'm definitely still just working on finding new ways to entertain them, to provide value, and take opportunities like this and speak about our story. Like, um, everybody loves our story. People love your guys' story and how you guys are starting, and they want to hear more of that. As long as your guest here can sit here, and if we can allocate the time correctly to get to hear more about you guys, because it is your podcast, or if you take an episode to yourselves and just shoot it between yourselves,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would highly recommend doing that and looking at what works for other podcasts and those things, and the way that you guys clip your content and post it up there, and make sure like everything's up to par, and you're progressing, because people love to see growth. People love to hear your story and see how far you guys have come. Just like you asked me, how far have I come? And my first post is still up there. I didn't. You can't be in your own head and self-conscious about what you guys are doing, what you guys are posting. Like, everything that I have on there is just there, man. Like, those videos are not good, the very first ones, or the pictures and stuff. It's just like, I didn't know what I was doing, but here we are. 4 years later. I'm going into year 5 next summer, and we're still rocking it. So
Yeah, that's crazy, because it is a journey, and then just like starting it any way you can. I mean, we this is our 4th episode.
4.
This is gonna
well,
be
if you don't consider our 2 like practice,
at least the ones that we posted, right?
Gotcha, yeah.
I mean, my first episode was with one of my buddies. It was actually downstairs, and we recorded it on my iPhone.
Yeah.
And then little by little we allocated this room, and then just got the equipment, and more people helping us and stuff like that.
We painted this wall just for you guys.
Hey, let's go.
I kind of want to get Luis in here. Luis, you have any questions? I kind of want to get Luis in here a little bit. I'll step off right over here.
For sure.
Want to get him. But Luis is actually who does our editing, and a lot of the stuff.
Hello.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're in the hot seat now. No.
Right. How are you guys feeling today?
We're doing pretty good.
Whoa, what's up with the... I'm just the editor. Yeah. So, guys,
What's going on?
congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Business, marriage. It's awesome. I seen you guys' video. It was incredible.
Yeah.
What a happy moment, huh?
Yeah, it was an amazing night.
Wild.
It was a perfect night, honestly.
Yeah.
But is there something else that you guys would like to do besides tacos and that sort of business?
In my personal journey, we're kind of venturing into like a partner, social media influencing. We're taking deals, brand deals, and we've worked with a couple brands like Chick Chancy, where they take our date. They're like interested in our date night videos and kind of things like that.
I saw that.
And then Bianca's also moving into her new venture. I'll let her speak about it. But.
Yeah, so like I said, from Anthony's Tacos, I've been getting just responses and direct messages saying like, hey, whether it's just Bianca B wanting you to do this type of video for us, and then when it came into like the type of videos that I do, I never liked recording myself. And when I realized that I didn't like that, because especially with all our date night videos, that's what they're seeing from Bianca B, because I'm mainly on the screen when we do our date night videos, and he's always recording me. So then when I was getting like these deals like, hey, can you come and do this like Valentine's Day like food event, and you're going to be promoting all this stuff, I was like, hey, can you come record me? And he's like, nah, I can't that day. Like, I got the kids or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I just found myself like having to take a tripod and then record myself. And I'm like, I don't like this. Like, I love being on camera, but I don't like being my own videographer. So Chuck Chansey reached out to me and they're like, hey, Bianca, like, can we wanted to do a video for you, with you. If you want to turn it into a date night, like, we're going to give you a voucher for eating this and this and that. Right. And so I was like, I would love to work with you guys. Does this and this and that. So then I'm telling Anthony and I'm like, hey, like, that's when we kind of like, that was a little bit of a conversation. And it was like, hey, do you mind being my videographer? Because he was like, oh, well, how do you want to record? And I was like, I don't want to record. Like, especially that you're going to be in this video. Like, they're paying me to do a date night video. I don't want to record because you always get my good angles. Like, I don't know what to record. I'm not a videographer.
For the main part, you don't mind the attention?
I don't mind the attention. It's if I don't know that he's recording, or if I do know he's recording, but I'm like just being myself, that's what I like. I don't want to set up a camera and then act. I'm not an actor. I don't want to be an actor. I want to be Bianca B. I want to be myself. So if once I click start myself, that's when I feel like I'm an actor. So like, like, I don't know, just different little things. So, but when he's pressing record and he pressed start, I don't know when he's recording. I don't know if he's getting my good angles. Now I'm just having fun and I'm on a date night with him, and that comes easy to me. So I asked him, I was like, hey, like, obviously Bianca B is growing. I didn't expect to be like a micro influencer here in Fresno, but that's what it's leading me to. And what a blessing, because I didn't even ask for it, right? Like, I've just been getting hit up and like, it's beautiful. But I told him, can you be in the partnership with me? Obviously, we already do like Anthony's Tacos together. You're going to be my husband, but like, would you do this with me and be my videographer? Because I don't want to be my own videographer. I can't. Like, I'm not Bianca B. I'm like actress, and I don't like that. So that's been something that we kind of are starting to get to and slowly step away from my business. But we just decided that at the Chick Chansey video date night thing, that's when we decided, all right, you're going to be my videographer. So you asked, like, what else do you guys plan on doing? I do have my own business right now, but definitely planning on stepping away completely, hopefully, in this near future. But I want to be, I guess, first time kind of like saying it out loud to anybody. But yeah, I'm planning on being like a host or like an MC, like for any special events that people have. It's like now it's like
kick freestyles.
Say that again.
So you're gonna be an MC. You're gonna kick freestyles.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, just definitely to be like the host to go to call for your trivia nights, or whether it's a karaoke night, or whether it's a taco night, or I don't know, any type of event, a gala, a award ceremony.
Some mimosas.
Somewhat.
Yeah,
Mimosas.
Mimosas.
Yeah, like DJ.
A brunch.
A brunch.
Oh, a brunch. Yeah.
There's a DJ that does something like that, right?
K Rich. K Rich has the butter brunch. Yeah, but that's guys, man. Ain't nobody touching butter brunch for K Rich now. But yeah, just definitely just being the go-to host. Like, oh, we're hosting this, or we're having this event. Like, let me hire Bianca B. So he actually made me a link tree, and now I soft launched it. I didn't tell anybody about it, but it is on my page now. And there's a link for a brand collaboration, but the first one is to be a host. So yeah, shout out to my link tree. Yeah. Dang, I never said that out loud, huh?
I seen that FASHAWN followed you guys. Do you guys know him personally?
Fash.
FASHAWN. Oh.
We've crossed paths a lot. I wouldn't say that he knows me personally. I guess he might recognize my face now, but honestly, funny story. His kids go to the same school my kids go to, and I see him every few days.
Is there any artists that you're liking, like in this generation?
We definitely. My personal favorite right now is LARUSSELL.
Okay.
Has been since I found him. He came to Fresno, but he does a lot of the same things. He's staying independent, and he got to 1 million followers, and he's put out a lot of albums, and he push a lot of content, give free things away. Even his shows and his merch and everything is like pay what you want, proud to pay. If you purchase anything from him, it's whatever value it has to you. Some people, I've paid $25 a ticket, $60, $100 a ticket to go to his shows. We've paid $50 for a sweater. We've paid $20 for a book. You just choose your own prices and things like that. And just the energy and the vibe that they give his whole company and Brand is just really good to follow, and the lyrics that he speaks is just, he raps about his life, he raps about, learning the things that he's learned from the industry, and not trying to take the route and the bad contracts and the things like that. So, and he's from Vallejo, and I just love the Bay Area, and like all of my sports teams are from San Francisco and like Bay Area stuff. So that's definitely my favorite artist.
It's cool how he does like all those backyard concerts type stuff.
Yeah, we went to a bunch of them, and then this past May, in April, we went to a show, and they stopped us, and they're like, "Hey, like, we know you guys do tacos. We've seen you guys at all the shows, and we want you guys to come. Like, give me your number." They locked us in, and then a couple weeks later, they were like, "Hey, you guys ready to come to the May show? You're gonna serve about 300 people in the backyard." It's like,
Drove the
easy.
truck to Vallejo.
I was like, easy. I was like, easy. Let's do it. We're experienced, and we serve big lines and big crowds, and we're fast and efficient, bro. Like we got this. We got this a lot.
But mind you, Anthony he's been asked to go out of town multiple times. Like, hey, can you come to LA? Oh, can you come this? And Anthony's like, nah, we're not taking the truck anywhere. LaRussell's like, come to Vallejo, and Anthony's like, bet we're going.
Didn't even know if I'd make it, but we made it. So.
Any other cuisines that you would want to try out at some point?
Before this one, I was doing chicken sandwiches. I probably would have tried the chicken sandwich route. Popeyes, the whole Popeyes thing was happening and stuff. And I had made one. I made my own sauce. I made my own chicken. I have a logo. I have a whole brand identity for that thing. And I've never tried to run the two. I've definitely focused on one. And that one, and this one's like my own self. I get to be myself. The brand is me. It's my face, my logo, my name. So it's fun. And if I ever want to just sell that one, or if somebody I know who wants to start doing chicken, I would pitch them the brand and like, hey, like this is what I got already. Like it looks cool. So
let me sell it to you.
Right. I'd love to be partnership or help out or like do media with them and like just working on the brand is kind of fun to me.
That'd be tight.
I know that you guys have been in Fresno for a long time. Is there anywhere else that you guys would like to live, or
like moving wise?
Yeah, moving.
Europe. I'm just kidding.
Europe. She was Italy for sure.
Yeah.
I want to visit Italy. Was there anywhere you want to live?
I mean, if it came to a point like about 3 hours max away by living by a beach, that would be cool. But no, not. I love Fresno.
We're too family oriented too. I definitely love to see her family, and I love to see my family.
Everything's here, huh?
Everything's here.
Like it'd be cool to live by a beach. Obviously, like go and pray outside. Be by an ocean front and like morning prayers.
A little bit cooler weather. Maybe
cooler weather.
Hills somewhere.
But definitely like cost of living. Like I don't know. That's just too much. Fresno's our thing. I love that we're 3 hours away from everything. So if I wanted to go to a beach, I just got to, drive 3 hours. You can do it in one day. But yeah, we love family. We're big on family. We love having people over and hosting. And we have an amazing community of friends that, I don't know, it would be too hard to walk away from.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Would you guys like to travel? What's next?
Honeymoon next, and we kind of just want to relax and not plan anything for our honeymoon. So definitely like an all-inclusive, just because we're so busy in our lifestyle right now. I'm like, I just want to be on a beach and lay next to you and just enjoy the next few days. Future wise, it would definitely be Europe. I just love that you can eat as much carbs as you want and you won't get bloated because there's no pesticides, there's no chemicals in their foods and stuff like that.
We're just talking all about that.
Yeah, and I've been there once, so I want to take him. I told him when we were best friends, like, I'm gonna take you to Europe one day.
I haven't been much anywhere. I just got my passport, so I'm like, I'm ready to rock the world.
I'm dude, exactly the same. I only been around the country and in Mexico, and I've had this vision where I wanted to travel like throughout most of the continents, and just have that done to put it in my bucket list and be done.
Nice, yeah.
I love it.
I've been waiting for that for a long time, so hopefully it all goes fine and I hope that goes well weird. But
Sure.
There's this app that we have to tell you about that our friends just told us about, and it's like how people book to get like the most efficient way and cheapest way, or like
Jamie? What Jamie was talking about?
no, Sam.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that app, and it's
Yeah.
like it shows people will put in their plans for their trip, and it'll tell like it gives you an itinerary of what to do. So we'll have to let you know about that app because that was really cool.
Yeah.
She was telling us about.
And also just Google what Jamie was talking about, which is Google Flights,
Mm.
where you can just leave the destination open and the dates, and Google will just you hit search kind of with the blank empty, and it'll give you the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 9 months, and you can find all the cheapest flights just because they're so far in advance.
Hawaii was like $130.
Up on mine. I'm going to Cancun in January, and like 3-4 months ago, it was sort of cheap.
Yeah.
And the prices went up, and now I can't get it to go back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my $150.
Maybe that's strong.
Following the truth and perfection. Great.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know we talked a little bit about you guys' wedding.
Mm-hmm.
How stressful was it, and how like satisfying was it at the end?
You want to say it or?
It was stressful in the sense that neither of us liked to plan it, but she wasn't very like crazy picky on the way things had to be, and it ended up turning out to be super simple with decorations and things like that. As soon as we locked in certain specific vendors, but
I cared about having K Rich as our DJ, and that's all that mattered to me. I was like, we need K Rich, right? So we had K Rich as our DJ, and then we ended up locking in on the Grand, the Grand 1401,
Yeah.
the venue. And once we had those two, I was like, we're good. Like, we're solid. We don't need to do a lot of planning. Like, we'll get tables and chairs. And everyone was like, who's going to do your makeup? What are you going to have for centerpieces? And I'm like, do y'all care about that though? Like, do you care about what's in the centerpieces? Like, I can name every wedding that I went to, and I don't remember any centerpieces. I don't remember the decorations. I think the main part about a wedding is becoming one. It's the ceremony, and a lot of people don't show up to the ceremonies. That's the last thing that they'd rather show up to. They only want to show up to the party. And I'm like, not me. My main thing is the ceremony. That's when two people become one under God's eyes, right? Like, that is the main thing. So that's all that mattered to me. And once we got our officiant, like, it's my friend Angela, it's like, that's all we needed. Other than that, let's get some food, let's feed people, and wear all black. That was our one thing. We just wanted everybody to wear black. And that's all kind of we cared about. So when it came to all the details, usually that is the girl's job. And it's both people's jobs, but usually the girl wants to do everything. And it's like, oh my gosh, when I get married, I want this to be at my wedding. I never grew up like that. I was just like, I want to marry an equally yoked person as me. I want to marry a man of God. That's all that I cared about. I didn't care about the details. So it was very hard when people were messaging me saying like, hey, are we having a rehearsal? And I'm like, baby, are we having a rehearsal? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, I don't think so. And I'm like, gosh, like, I was like, look at all these messages that I got today. And he's like, dang. And I was like, I cried. I was like, it sucks that this is like more of like a girl's job to plan the wedding. But like, we didn't care about all the details. We didn't become bridezillas or groomzillas. We didn't become any of that because we were like, look, if someone, like our friend Gio was like, can I crip walk down the aisle? And I was like, yeah, like if you want to, go for it. Like everyone was like, how do you want our hair? And I'm like, I don't care. Like do whatever hairstyle you want. And people were like, dude, you're so like, you have beautiful dresses for us. You guys, you're not telling us that we have to do our makeup or we have to get our hair done. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't need you guys to spend hundreds of dollars just on like, if you think you could do your own makeup, bro, every single one of my bridesmaids are beautiful. So you guys are going to look beautiful regardless. Like, and so I just didn't force anything on anybody. I didn't want big old centerpieces where you can't see the person across from you. So we just did little vases with water and one rose like out of it. Like, it was just so simple, so beautiful. And that was the most stressful part, is that we didn't care to plan it. We just wanted to be one and become one with each other. But a lot of the stress from other people were like, bro, your wedding is going to be the wedding of the year. And we're like, oh, dang, do we have to like, we have to live up to it. And it's not something that we expected. We kind of got that put onto us and we're like, but we knew that.
It's really refreshing to hear that though, because it's like people forget how to live life. And what you guys did there was exactly that. It was just be in the moment, enjoy your celebration of a marriage.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest things you're going to do in your life. And yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Even with our
Like
cake,
instead of stressing like about all the little details, and I mean, planning a wedding looks incredibly hard, especially with how some of these girls wanna. It's almost like an image, right, that they want to portray.
Yes. I thought I was going to be more, I used to be on my like workout grind and like count macros, and I thought I would be like that for the wedding, especially because it was a 300 person wedding, but like, yeah, but it didn't feel like that. That's the thing too, is like we invited 300 people. We knew it did not feel like a 300 people wedding. And let me tell you, when I say we are so blessed and God is so good, that every single person showed up to our ceremony. So there was 300 people at our ceremony watching us become one, and that was the most important thing to me. I'm like, I don't care if we order McDonald's, I don't care if we have like, I don't care what food we have, but the fact that 300 people saw us become one on that stage, like that's all that mattered to me. So yeah, like I mean, if you want a gorgeous and you have the money to throw a gorgeous wedding, please by all means do it. That I'm not that just wasn't me. I didn't dream of having this beautiful wedding. I dreamt of marrying this man that I didn't even know was this man until like obviously we started, like, but I was like, this is all I want. Like I was actually, I don't believe in like you can't see your husband before the day before. We ended up doing that, but I think that was the one thing I regretted the day of the wedding is waiting, not seeing him all day. It's like he is my person. Like we live with each other, we work with each other. I'm so blessed that we are with each other kind of 24/7 and we give each other healthy space. Like if he wants to go golfing, I'm like, bye baby, go golfing. If I want to go to the gym, he's like, hey, have a good workout. If he wants to go play basketball, I'm like, dude, that's hot, go play basketball. Like tell me how it is when you come back. Like, like we give each other this healthy space. I go out to dinners, with my girls or whatever, but like it's healthy, but we love doing everything with each other. So being away from like each other, like all day when I was doing my makeup and hair, he's always right next to me when I do my makeup and hair. And I'm always like, hey, does my lipstick look good? Or like, does my eyeshadow look good? And he's like, yeah. And I'm doing my hair and I'm talking to him, right? So like the fact that I was getting ready for our wedding and he wasn't next to me while I was getting ready, I was like, dude, like I need my safe space, like I've been away from him for so long and it's just, we work so well with each other. I'm very blessed. Like I know a lot of, there's people that don't have that and there's people that do have that. And it's like when you find that person, like I can't explain, but thank you God for giving me this man and giving us each other because, yeah, it was nice to have our daughter getting ready with me because obviously that's a part of him and a piece of him. And then Jazzy, shout out to Jazzy because she is she grew up with him and that's kind of like his sister. And there was a moment where I was like doing my hair and she's on the floor doing her makeup and it was the first time that she had came in like a little later. And when she came in, I was doing my hair and I just paused and I was like, thank you so much for like doing your makeup down here. And she was like, yeah, what's wrong? And she like looks up and I was like, I want to cry. And I was like, you're the closest thing to Anthony. Like, obviously our daughter's there too, but I was like, you're the closest thing to Anthony's personality right now. Cause she's very like blunt and like just very, I don't know, not
very Southeast Fresno.
Southeast Fresno. Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to Henna by Jazzy. She does henna as well. But she was below me and I just said thank you. Like your energy, the fact that you're not like, just asking about my hair and makeup because Anthony doesn't ask about my hair and makeup. He's just very like, hey, what we doing? Like, you want to play some music? Like, you want to do this? And Jazzy it was just her aura that it was just very much Anthony. And I was just like, I feel like Anthony's getting ready with me right now just because you're down here and you're just super chill. You're on, and it was just nice. And I started tearing up and she goes, here's a Q-tip. And I was like, that's what he did when he proposed. But it was tight. Yeah. But I would say if there was one thing that I like could change, because I'm telling you, I had the wedding of my dreams. There's nothing, I feel it went perfect. There was nothing that went wrong. And even if there was something that went wrong, like I said, if someone fell walking down the aisle or if my dress got a stain on it, like I would not care. Like literally, if someone spilled wine on my red dress, I'd walk down the aisle and be like, bro, I got wine on my dress. Like that's how much I didn't care about the details because things happen and they're inevitable. And it's crazy that I was expecting something bad to happen, bro, nothing bad happens. Like,
that's great.
it's wild. And if something did, I would laugh about it with him. I'd be like, yeah, look at this. Like, you see this?
So what I got is that in order to make a girl fall in love with you completely, is just make the best tacos.
For sure.
You guys definitely lived up to that.
I need your ingredient, man.
The best wedding of the year.
Thank you.
It
You
was
said that
all
you...
all over Instagram. I saw it everywhere.
Thank you. I did not something we planned. But damn, we love to dance. And shout out to K Rich. He's the best wedding DJ in the freaking world. And like, we just, I don't know, that entrance, we saw like a little clip on like TikTok of like everybody kind of walking in, and we were just like, all right, let's do, like, I want to do that. I love the song. And he was like, that's tight. And I was like, everyone's going to have glasses, right? We're like, everyone bring your glasses. And yeah, our wedding crew, shout out to our wedding crew, like our bridesmaids and groomsmen. Y'all are real ones, and y'all killed it. It was so good. It was so good.
About Mexican OT real quick.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
How was that?
He definitely did not give me a script as well. And I was like, hey, like, what do you want me to ask him? What do you want me to do? He's like, just do your interview. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, bro, it's Mexican OT. Like, I don't get starstruck, but it was just the fact that it's going to be recorded, and I wanted to promote for K Rich or like, and Anthony. And I'm like, I want to do a good job. And Anthony's like, just do an interview, do what you normally do. And I'm like, you really not going to give me anything, bro? Like, that's wild. And so, yeah, I just remember doing the interview, and, my family's from Texas, and one thing that he kind of clipped, it was like, from Texas, you hear him? Yeah. And that's like how he started the video. And like, so it was nice. It was wild to be interviewing him with 30 people that all had cameras, and they're all on the floor recording our interview, and it's just lights, camera, action. That was like the most, literally felt like I was on a red carpet. Literally, you would like, you see the red carpet, how there's like 30 people with cameras. There was about 30 people with cameras watching this interview. So I've also never done an interview that big. Obviously, like, I've done stuff for like the Fresno Grizzlies. Like, you talked about the mascot thing, where I was like, I'm the mascot for Anthony Tacos, but nobody was watching that other than like 2 other people. It was like like Sam that works for the Grizzlies, Anthony recording me, and then I think that was it, right? Like, it was us 4. But for the Mexican OT, it was a lot of people. I had a crowd doing an interview, so that was my first time.
It was all
performing live for people.
It was a promo for, his managers came out. All DJs were invited from Fresno, and a lot of photographers were invited. So it was just, they were breaking the song. They were trying to get the song in clubs and records down here, in the clubs down here, and it was like a movie. It was like a movie to see him walk down, come down to the truck. He ordered. As far as the interview goes, I mean, he ended up getting like way too high.
I just saw he's like smoking the blunt. I'm like, how are you gonna get like?
He ended up getting so high. Yeah.
And then the thing too is, while I was doing the interview, I'm like, all right, like, you excited to eat the tacos? And he was like, well, normally I smoke my wood first. And I'm like, oh, do you want to do the interview later? And he's like, no, I'll eat right now. Someone hold my wood. And I was like, whoa, damn, like, why they make you come eat tacos right now? So I definitely got like a little awkward. I don't know if you clipped it or anything, but there was like a, damn, who told me he needs to smoke this wood first? Like, geez, I don't even know what wood means. Like, I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
definally a moment. It was a moment.
That was really cool. Yeah.
It was just a moment.
How did it feel to get that Texas approval?
We already got it from my family in Texas,
sure.
So we already got the Texas approval. But from Mexican OT,
I ran ads in Texas too. I was just I'm just gonna put this, filter it just for Texas, just to capitalize on the whole moment, and just things like that you got to do. And
But that's the thing too, is like, in the beginning, he's like, I don't know, the way we do it in Texas, right? And he gave us like that jab, right? And I was like, yeah, well, we'll see after this interview. The skepticism. And then he took the bite. He's like, damn, like, these are the best tacos. And it was like, that's freaking tight, dude. Like, yeah, because I mean, I believe it. I know it. I know. I'm like, yes.
California got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that was that was a really cool moment for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The most funniest part though was when we all took a group picture. So everyone who was there, every single DJ that was there, all took a picture with Mexican OT, and he sat on the floor, right? So Anthony's like kind of next to him, and I'm like over there, right? And then everyone leaves for the picture, and he stays sitting on the floor because he was too high to get up. That was funny. He's a very cool guy, though. He was young at the time. I don't know, that was a year or two ago, but I mean, it's like, I think at the time he was like 25, 24, 25, but very come off very respectful, He was like, dude, good job. Like, you're doing great.
That hospitality you always see.
Yeah.
Just like
Texas hospitality, huh?
Texas hospitality. Thank you guys so much for coming on. It was a pleasure.
Another time.
Yeah. No, it was good. I want to say, like, any last feedback. It was a great interview, and I love that you still got to hear a part of his story and like how it happened, but it wasn't the first thing that was said. We jumped into like good conversation, and then it led to his story and how I think usually with interviews, one thing he says, he was like, I wish people did like a little bit more research so that the questions can be a little bit more different every interview, because it can get a little repetitive. But yeah, it didn't. And that's the cool thing, is like we started off with just very good conversation, and then it led to kind of like how he first kind of started, but then jumped back to like another question. So
it's more fluid.
Yeah.
And I'm just the comedic relief.
Yeah. Yeah. But thank you guys. This was great.
You're everywhere. Anthony's
Tacos. Yeah.
Anthony's Tacos, right?
Yep.
And then I don't see much of your handle if you want to throw it out.
Yeah, it's Bianca B. There's 2 A's at the end of Bianca, but Bianca and then BEE, like the little insect.
We'll go over to you guys' taco truck.
Yeah.
And we'll try it out for the first time.
Come on Wednesday night. Come on.
We'll be there Wednesday for sure.
Be friends.
Oh yeah, we'll be trying the tacos for sure.
What time are you guys gonna be out there?
We should be out there by 7 to 10.
Perfect.
We'll be there.
Yeah. Let's do it. That'll be good. You guys drop your content. We'll drop our content with you guys too. We'll just
We can collab on it.
we'll just intermingle it all and get everybody to watch the pod.
That'll be cool, man.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Yes.